Cameos! It is essentially what every single superhero post-credit scene is based on, and wrestling loves it too, often in hindsight. That sounds weird, but most future superstars actually appear as an extra on a major show at some point, and then when they get signed for real, we all go mad. It's like that Leonardo DiCaprio pointing meme. So do you now fancy rushing to YouTube and watching some of these right now? Well, let's go. Number 15, Johnny Gargano. Now, this was all the way back on the 27th of March 2007 SmackDown, which shows how long Johnny Gargano has been putting in the work. He deserves every ounce of success. Wonder all this was too, because as a local wrestler, he was cast as the Liechtenstein champion, Cedric von Hausen. This is basically my dream gig, and you can see how WWE made him dress right now on the screen. That's gotta be offensive to someone. Amazingly, he was facing MVP. I find it amazing this has never been referenced on WWE television, especially when he was part of The Way down in NXT. And of course, this match was over faster than you can say DIY. It wouldn't be until September 2011 when Johnny got another call, this time to work Superstars against Brodus Clay. He was now going as Joey Gray. That's another missed opportunity. After this, Gargano basically got told over and over again he'd never make it to WWE due to his size, and look at him now. He's awesome too. Goes to show, never stop believing. Number 14, Sol Ruka. This one is so good we should be talking about it more. Cast your mind back to WrestleMania 39 though. Do you remember the match that was sponsored by Cinnamon Toast Crunch? It is absolutely ridiculous, as is their mascot, but guess who was inside? That's right, Sol Ruka, amazing. All the power to her as well, because she threw herself into this so much and just agreed to all the mad things that was asked of it, that earned her backstage brownie points. Once again, this is the best story. Also, let's face it, in a modern day wrestling world, everything has been done, except for maybe being inside a cereal box at WrestleMania. Well, that one is now gone too, so the rest of you better get your thinking caps on. Ruka had already debuted in NXT by then as well, which is likely why the mascot was never unmasked. Do not forget she suffered that horrible injury in March 2024. Ever since Sol has returned, and it's been up and up, I think the future is very bright. Let us not make a Johnny Gargano mistake here either. One day, in the middle of a blood feud, please have somebody talk about the Cinnamon Dude. It's very important. Number 13, Grayson Waller. An underutilized dude as I am talking to you today. Grayson Waller is totally happy to be 100% the bad guy with zero redeeming features. I even saw a TikTok video where he went to sign a kid's poster and he threw the pen on the ground. That's a heel. It's likely why he's game for anything, which was also true at Backlash 2021, and man, did we all deliberately forget about this quickly. Because to tie into a deal with Army of the Dead, WWE decided to do a zombies match as The Miz and Damian Priest had to do battle, with members of the undead also trying to eat them. Forget trying to suspend your disbelief, that was done. The trivia at the time was former Attitude Era star Scotty 2 Hotty was among these names, as was Grayson Waller. If you want to be a super nerd, you can watch this with an eagle eye and it's easy to figure out. I mean, it's just Grayson as a zombie. The pandemic was a huge reason for this, as WWE just tried anything and everything. I still don't get what we were meant to take away from it. I saw The Miz get eaten, but he didn't become a zombie. Therefore, they weren't real members of the Horde, so we were meant to think this was just humans dressed up. Or within the WWE sphere, zombies have no effect. I've overthought this, but it keeps me up at night. It's totally insane. Number 12, Bron Breaker. We carry on this story too because, yep, look at that. Bron Breaker was also a zombie. So essentially, to cast the Horde, we just called NXT and got some of their guys. The reason Breaker caused a little bit of a fuss is because it felt like we hadn't gone as hard with his makeup. Looked like a zombie that was late to the party. In actuality, Bron was barely mentioned at all because in 2021, the buzz hadn't started yet. We knew he was Rick Steiner's kid. That was about it. This was March and he only inked his deal in February. His full debut wasn't until September. What an amazing way to start your career though, especially because Breaker had come from the world of the NFL, or at least trying to break into it. I'm entirely sure you get to do this on the football field. But what do I know? The good news for Bron is that I don't think, given his current character, he'll ever be asked to do this again. Number 11, The Creed. So it's the last one for Backlash. You can see it with your eyes. The Creeds were there too. Much like in real life, they are forever joined by the hip even when they are zombies. And this picture is very funny, because Brutus is the happiest zombie you have ever seen. And he's more than pleased to have had his brains eaten. It was similar in the sense Julius and his brother weren't even on the radar of most, but they were in the system. Again, I think it was just a call and request that whoever is free can come to the Thunderdome to take part. We need bodies. And yes, that was the major reason for all of this, because of the pandemic. That's the real reason we can never go back to this. I'm not sure I could handle it again. Number 10, Jeff Cobb. Or JC Mateo, whatever we're calling him these days. It does seem weird that he would have a cameo back in 2014, given ever since then he's been traveling the world, but he did. With a far shorter haircut, Cobb went and attended a WWE tryout, and given the lay of the land, he got interviewed afterwards, and WWE loves that content. You can see it right now, and Jeff was offered a role, but it was on the Tough Enough show, plus WWE was gonna label him as an indie worker. Now that wasn't entirely untrue, but before this, Cobb had been a world-class wrestler, so when he was told he wasn't allowed to be listed under athletes, well, I think he saw the writing on the wall. He needed to bet on himself. I mean, the guy did compete at the 2004 Olympic Games. Of course, now he is part of the bloodline on SmackDown, although it depends when you see this video. The turnaround in the bloodline is higher than McDonald's after punching Solo Sikoa right in the face. I mean, that is just what you do. Number 9, Trick Williams. Even with all his NXT success, Trick Williams is gonna be massive on the main roster. Dude just gets it. He's very fun to watch. Given the generation he's part of, though, he was another one. He got dragged into the Thunderdome. It was the 5th of March 2021, and on SmackDown, Trick was playing the role of random security guard. His job was to protect Apollo Crews, who, yes, at the time was playing the part of a Nigerian king. It's not good. Let's just admit that and move on. So bad. It's so surreal now because nobody went, oh, that guy on the right is going to become the first contracted WWE superstar to win the TNA World Championship. And yet here we are. That's why these cameos are so bizarre. What's next ranges from utter success to totally insane endings. I suppose that's wrestling. Number 8, Ricky Saints. Or Ricky Starks, it's your choice. But we do have to go all the way back to August 2014 here, which shows just how long he's been putting in the hours. On that episode of Raw, Ricky was enjoying his wrestling snacks at ringside while watching a Beat the Clock challenge. This is when Dean Ambrose came over to him and stole his soda. We also basically ignored Seth Rollins and Heath Slater, who were competing. The talk of the town afterwards was Saints' shocked face. He could not believe his drink was gone. I mean, let's be honest, concessions are ludicrously priced. Back in 2013, Ricky had also taken a powerbomb from Ryback because he was a Planted fan. So yeah, this has been one hell of a ride for the guy. He has most definitely waited his turn. Number 7, Stephanie McMahon. So this one is hard to believe given what we have seen, but if at the time you're not a featured performer, well, you wouldn't think anything of it. But during an episode of Raw on the 13th of November 1998, a very scared female backstage worker got even more intimidated after she saw Steve Austin wandering the halls looking for The Undertaker. I mean, he had a shovel, and they even asked her, have you seen the man? She said she had not. As I'm sure you figured out, this was Stephanie McMahon's first proper appearance on WWE TV, and before this, she was mostly a model for merchandise catalogs that would be distributed different times. The word has always been it was Vince Russo who pushed for her more and more, and by 1999, good grief, McMahon was all over the product. 2 years after that, she was also technically running WCW and ECW too. I mean, that's quite the shift. But yes, if you were watching casually in the late 90s, you'd have no clue this was someone who was gonna dominate WWE for years to come. It's a proper blink and you miss it moment. Number 6, Damian Priest. Money in the Bank 2014. Stephanie McMahon actually does feature here because she needed a security team for the evening. One of the guards was indeed the future Damian Priest. He would have been Punishment Martinez at the time, and you could tell he was a wrestler. The guy towered over everything. It was also before Priest had dropped a ton of weight, so it almost serves as a before and after. It took him ages to get his foot through the door too, because it wouldn't be until 2019 that he finally made his NXT debut. So he's another one. Just keep going, man. Believe in yourself. You never know where it's gonna finish. Number 5, Kurt Angle. The 1999 Iron Circle fight between Steve Blackman and Ken Shamrock was at least different. Went down at the Fully Loaded pay-per-view, although it was hard to see because it was so dark. At least WWE was finally leaning into what these guys brought to the table: legitimacy. The production needed work, but there was a lot of trial and error during the Attitude Era. But due to these shadows, you may never have noticed that Kurt Angle is part of this. There's a bunch of unnamed wrestlers cheering these lunatics on, and yep, one of them is the Olympic gold medalist. He even bangs the hood of a car. He wasn't going to be a regular till the end of the year, and this was July, although you do get a solid 45 seconds of him. I guess WWE wasn't worried because he wasn't the Angle we know today. He was kind of just more of a local hero. In terms of what he was going to go on to do, though, I'm not sure anybody pegged this. And Kurt Angle these days is considered one of the best in-ring workers of all time. Number 4, Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green has been around way longer than we realized. Some of the roles she was given were quite sizable. I mean, back in 2014, Daniel Bryan was involved in a soap opera affair storyline, because of course he was. And guess who was front and center? I'm hoping you said Chelsea Green. Because she was physical therapist Megan Miller on the 11th August episode of Raw, and she claimed, "I'm having an affair with Daniel Bryan." I mean, again, that's a big role to play. It's an awful story, but she's still featured. A furious Brie Bella then slapped her for even suggesting the idea, and I guess it's kind of funny, because some fans remember this angle because it is so daft, but they still do not put 2 and 2 together and realize that's Chelsea. 10 years later, Green was winning the Women's US Championship 2 at Saturday Night's Main Event, the first female to achieve such a feat. So he did it again. She is Britney Spears. The future really can be bright. Number 3, LA Knight. We are back to being a security guard on Raw again, but look at the date. The 15th of August 2011 Raw. LA Knight has been working his tail off for years. He was also part of the Human Walls to stop CM Punk and Kevin Nash getting physical with each other. And man, does this dude get it. When Punk is cutting a promo, he sees the camera is right there, and he simply pops his head around Punk's shoulder so he can be seen. That's smart. Knight also gets loads of screen time because CM went off on this night and spoke for ages. He also can't be the worst person to learn from. From here, LA would scratch and claw his way to the main roster proper, and I think that's a reason fans love him so. He just gave his all to this, and he made it. It's quite the inspiration. Number 2, Randy Orton. So don't get it wrong. WWE knew they had something with Randy Orton instantly. His whole family had been part of the industry, and look at him. 6'5", built, good smile. The company loved this. For a while, these were the only type of people they were hiring. You had to tick the boxes. He would debut properly in April 2002, but 2 years before this, when the Attitude Era was still a thing, WWE aired a vignette featuring the APA and the Dudleys. It was September 2000 and the figure of Doug Basham was there too, but as it was located in a local bar, well, we have a couple of regulars, which just so happened to be Doug and Randy. They're just having a drink and a good time. Didn't last long. Bradshaw and co started a fight, and extras were being hurled around the place. So yes, if you do want to see the first appearance of a bona fide legend, here it is. From then on, he didn't do too badly. Look at him on the screen here, though. Once again, you'd never have thunk it. Number 1, CM Punk. The fact CM Punk ever even got to the WWE was amazing. He was the indie darling, and due to what WWE wanted and what Punk was, it felt impossible. Why he is one of the dudes that broke down that door, changed the game. We all know he returned to the promotion in 2023, but 20 years prior, you would have seen him on SmackDown in a bizarre cameo, because as Brock Lesnar arrived at the building, there was a bunch of fans who wanted his autograph, and one was CM Punk. If this was today, he would have run to eBay to make some money, but he is just so happy to see the beast. It's weird because most people talk about his appearance during John Cena's Mania 22 entrance, but at least that one was in Punk's hometown of Chicago. Acting like an admirer who liked Brock, I don't know. It's bizarre, really. So if you do want to be a nerd going forward, I will tell you now, my friends, spy these people, Google them, and pretend you were always a fan. Then you can get mad at others when they do jump on the bandwagon. That's just how life works. Apparently, also makes you nuts. Know of any other amazing cameos that nobody ever talks about anymore for people that came on to become future stars? Then let us know in the comments below. If you like the video, share the video, and damn it, subscribe. You can also click the video on the screen for yet even more content from this bald a-hole, but otherwise, my friends, you take care of yourself, and I'll talk to you again soon.